Okay, check out these amazing YouTubers, especially Danny from 3D Printed Tabletop. He's an amazing guy. And Naomi, the sexy cyborg. Naomi, I love you, sweetie. You're great. Keep doing what you do. Anyway, let's get on to supporting Zantharoth. So I won't go hard on Andre. Like normally when I test print for him, I really give him a lot of crap when there's a lot of unsupported islands. But he's sculpting scales, and when you sculpt scales, no matter how you orient the model, if that scale's over, some of them are going to be pointing down. So we'll forgive him this one time for making me do tons of supports. So you see on the sword, not too bad. The head is actually quite easy to do, and the maul, this giant hammer maul, is fine, especially because the ropes don't go underneath the maul, thank God. Otherwise, I'd have a ton of supports down there. He did the wrappings really nicely, so they actually didn't create a lot of support islands in there, which is a really good job by Andrea, because a lot of times when people do wrappings, every edge of a wrapping I have to support. This one, you see, needs no supports at all. Of course, when you get to the scales, he did a pretty good job even on the scales. Then you see that there's a few on the back that I needed to support, and underneath there's a ton. And look, of course, here I'm mad at him. He put rope underneath the tail. He could have made that tail hit the ground and made that part a little flat, but instead I had to support every little piece of rope coming down. Back scale's not too bad. Of course, rope on the belt means, again, the bottom of every rope part is going to be an island. You have to support all those. You could tilt this model flat back, but then the back is going to look horrible. So, I always do my models basically standing almost straight up. You can always put, the little designs on there, the little square designs, those are a little hassle. If you look underneath, every corner of those, every little corner of that design needs a support. So that's a little bit of a pain in the ass. So don't forget to do that. And of course, on the wristband on the top here, same thing. So each corner of that little design needs another little mini support in there. And you see that I have a lot of heavies going where it's going underneath a big scale. Use a heavy or a medium because you're not going to see that damage. And if you do, you can always use the repair method I had in my other video where you just drop a little bit of resin on there and then cure it. So underneath here, there were a ton of little islands to support. Then again, some of the scales on the chest are sticking out and creating islands. So where that happened, you see I'm using a lot of mediums and stretching them up there. I saw a spot here that I missed, so I'm just going to put a light in there. It's not supporting much material, and I want to make sure I'm not damaging the model too much because you might actually see that part a little bit. So as you can see, lots of heavies here, and the low points of each arm. If you look at the low point of the left arm and the right arm, I have multiple heavies there because this is a big, heavy model, and I'm not hollowing it. I want to make sure those arms don't fail. That's the worst feeling when your model looks good, except then you look at the arm and the underside of it is all flat. So here's how it came out. It came out pretty nice. By using all those heavies under the arms came out perfectly. You can see there's not much damage from the supports because you see how I hid most of where the supports are. And so you've got Zantharoth, and he's done. So hopefully this will help you guys to support your model properly, just looking at what I did here. And I have other videos on actually how to place all the supports. So please like, please subscribe, and hope you learned something. Thanks again, everybody.